Hello and welcome to my minor region power rankings, where I use an algorithm to try and rate the minor regions. If you're new to the channel, a couple days ago I did my top 25 power rankings, which is mainly major region teams, and then some thoughts on some top minor region teams. So if you missed that and you're more of a major region person, then that video's there. If you'd like to, I'll put the link at the end. So minor regions, we have CBLOL, Latin America, and LCO that have already played. So they are included somewhere on this board. LJL, Japan, starts this weekend. So next week, we'll see maybe a Japanese team on here. PCS starts the week after or next weekend. In VCS, we still don't know when Vietnam's going to play, so that's completely unknown. I do not watch minor regions, so if you are going to be a fan of one of these teams and you have a problem with where they're ranked, I didn't watch the games. This is 100% stats oriented. Because, I mean, what else am I going to do? I can't watch them play. I can't watch everybody play. Watching all four major regions is enough of a problem. Well, not a problem, but enough time. I don't have time to watch the minor regions. So, it's all stat based. So if you can explain why your team is statistically, where it is, or explain how the games went, that's more than fine in the comments. Scouting reports are fair. So, LCO, their top team is 13th, so we're not going to talk about them now that much. Like I said, there are some around the board. They're right here. Petnet Gaming, 13th. Why would they not be in the top 10 if they're the top team in Oceania? Well, Oceania went 0-14 last year at international events, which is how I determine the hierarchy of minor regions. And then look at stats from domestic versus where I have the regions in a hierarchy. So, Petnet's 13th. So, 10th place, CB Lul's Los Grandes, a new team. They went 1-1 this past weekend. Lava, formerly of Brion, 10-5-11, leading the way. Los Grandes, a few new teams this year in CBLOL as a franchise. 9th place, another one, Fluxo from CBLOL, went 0-2. Some people may say, how is an 0-2 team on here above a 1-1 team? Well, statistically, they looked stronger. They blew games, they threw games, and that's how that kind of got. That's how they got there. Brant's 10-7-8. Yes, we know who Brant is, right? I try and have some recognizable names on here. They just happen to be the best players from the weekend anyway, statistically. But Brant's no longer on Loud, now on Fluxo, went 10-7-8. In their loss, it was very low scoring. I think he was the only one with kills. What happened was they drafted Lucian I don't know what the draft was. All I know is the Lucian Nami was split up, and we know how that goes. 8th place, Vivo Keyed Stars from Brazil went 1-1. Another franchise team. Grevthar, if you remember, was Red Cannon's mid laner at MSI. Went 10-5-16, leading the way. Both games on a Silas. So a few CBLOL teams to start us off. 7th place is Loud from CBLOL. They're 2-0. I know I have a lot of Loud fans in the comments. I mean, I even had a Loud fan upset that Red Cannons was in the top 25 and not Loud. And Tinones led the way, going 11-3-23. If you can kind of make sense of the one game against Kaboom where somehow Loud won without actually having more gold than Kaboom at the end, like that's going to screw up stats, right? So, Loud are below Kaboom. Kaboom's third. We haven't gotten there yet. They beat Kaboom, but Kaboom actually were in a better position throughout most of the game, so make sense of how that happened. Kaboom threw, Loud got lucky, I don't know, but scouting report's cool. 6th place, 6 Karma, a new team in Latin America, went 1-0. On Fleek was with HLE last year. I bet they wish they still had On Fleek. Went 8-1-20 in the 2-game set where they went 1-0. The reason why we're going to have a few Latin American teams in here is because very lopsided. These opening matchups in Latin America were extremely lopsided. I imagine that after next week, or as this goes along, we're going to have things kind of even out. And Latin America won't be all over the place up here because, honestly, no offense to LLA, but LLA I have nerfed. Like, it's the hierarchy actually is Vietnam, PCS, LJL, CBLOL, LLA, LCO. Like, that's the way it is. And if you have a problem with it, look at Worlds. Tell me what happened. And I mean, Worlds tells us what happened, right? In the end, how'd you do at Worlds? If you don't like it, maybe you need to do better at Worlds. So that's how that ended up happening. And Latin America did awful at Worlds, but first week, these teams really beat up on others. Astral Esports, 5th place, Latin America. Han Samdi. So I don't know if this is a joke by Games of Legend or if Samdi is a Han Sama fan, but his name has now went from Samdi to Han Samdi. And he went 21, 1, and 16 in 2 games. So that's pretty good, 21, 1, and 16. That's pretty scary. 4th place, Infinity Esports from Latin America went 1-0. 5Kid, 8-1 and 8. 5Kid represented Team Ace at MSI. 3rd place, Kaboom Esports from CBLOL went 1-1. I mentioned them earlier that they had lost in a game where they probably should have won against Loud. Lonely, 15, 5, and 16 in top lane. So I would say Lonely, who was Team Ace's top laner last year at MSI, did very well in his first weekend. A lot of these players are Korean imports, or just, like I said, I picked players that we kind of recognize. Rainbow 7 from Latin America is second, the top-rated LLA team. They went 1-0. Miru in mid lane went 10-1 and 16. He's been around the block. In 10-1 and 16, I mean, very dominant mid laner, as R7 lead Latin America right now in my power rankings. And then first place is Red Canids, who, like I said, I had 25th in the main power rankings. They had a very good week, going 2-0. Cheaton, 13, 4, and 18. We'll see how that continues. We'll see how everything continues, because Red Canids went to MSI, right? So everybody except, I guess, R7 really has a player that we know, or if you've paid attention in the last year, you've noticed. So that's a thing. But like I said when this video started, this is 100% stats based. I have not watched these teams play. I don't really intend on watching them play until I'm doing prep work for MSI and Worlds, because I just don't have the time, and I may even have less time soon. So if you have an opinion and it's a fair and not, I mean, I don't know why anyone would be hostile when I say, give us a scouting report. Tell us what happened in these games. Why are the stats looking the way they are? I think if people get defensive and things like that, it shows a lack of, I don't know. They're just, the defensiveness is just it's almost inceldom sometimes. You see it, and it's like, oh God, this person's off the chain. So, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube member, and thank you for watching.